Friend Lords podcast.
Welcome to the Lord's Minute, our quick hit video series where we talk about all the biggest things in gaming and beyond. I'm your host, Ty Swinson, not Boba Fett, and with me once again is Lord King. We have had the Book of Boba Fett season finale. We are here to break down our favorite things that happened this episode, because there are a lot. So, Lord King, take it away.
I'll start off with the bad. Felt like a giant Disney Plus episode.
True.
It checked all the boxes for all the new merch. It checked all the boxes for all the drama and intrigue. Every question was answered, even in the post-credit scene. Yes, true to Disney, Marvel, Star Wars form, there is a post-credit scene that if you got up and left, I suggest you run back to the TV right now. Because man, oh man, where do you start? You start off where they left off. Strategically planning an attack and a defense, and not knowing exactly who the syndicate had and what was going to happen. You saw the Mandalorian come in and Phoenix explained to Boba, he also had help from the Freetown people with the sheriff there. And,
right.
The main thing with the sheriff was, better have that armor. This episode was beautiful in the sense that you saw the maturation of Boba Fett, and he talked about it in one of the epic scenes. So we can get to the part where they were, how can I say, set a siege on, right? They had strategic places throughout the whole city, and we thought that the syndicate was only going to be in one space. Cad Bane makes his appearance very early and confronts Boba very early and puts Boba in a position of let's fight type of thing, and gave him information that he didn't he priorly thought that was it was false. The information that he had was false. He exact revenge on individuals that didn't kill the Tusken warriors, his family, his clan, his brood, and come to, into a moment of weakness. And Phoenix, his right hand man, his ride or die, told him, "Hold your head. Don't do that. Don't play into his hands. You will have your time for revenge, but this isn't the time." And you've seen a mature Boba in that sense that he didn't just run headlong into the battle. And had he did, strategically he was at a loss, because then the hits came and all of his team was under siege at that moment. And strategically they was being taken out by the force of the Pikes, the Scorpion droids. It was something to see how Cad Bane with the syndicate put this stuff into place to take him out. And I thought Santo was gonna be dead. How the city turned on him, the people that Boba made deals with turned on him. They went with the Pikes. They thought the syndicate would actually win the battle. They probably got enticed by the spice, and excuse me, and they jumped ship. They turned on Boba and they turned on his crew, and they really actually they killed the two warthogs from Jabba's own personal guard, threw them off a cliff. I don't know if they actually dead, but we haven't seen them again in the episode. And if you look at the last cutscene, because the Bacta tank was being in use, you find out who's in the Bacta tank being in use. You thought it was those guys, but not to be. Anyway, when all hope is lost, little man shows up. Grogu. And throughout the whole thing, I'm thinking Grogu is gonna show up and he's going to use the X-wing fighter and shoot down and stuff. That never happens. Fights ensue, fights happen, and the Mandalorian has his moment. Every aspect of each character had a chance to show their strengths, that they down for Boba, and Boba's approach in being respectful and loyal and giving people chances was the right choice for the people that he had on his side. And that actually worked, and you saw the camaraderie with them working, because the Freetown people came in when you thought it was over, and it wasn't, and they extended the battle. And then Boba and the Mandalorian had a moment, and the Mandalorian said, "Yo, I'm gonna hold it down because this is the way, and we are family." He let him know, "I believe in this, and this is what I believe in." And Boba should have known that he believed in it too, because he was part of a tribe. So this is his new tribe. And the Mandalorian went out there and held it down, and his other biker gang, the cybernetics dudes, they came back in, and then Santos comes dragging people on his back, and he's fighting. He got cuts all over his body. And Boba told him, "Man, I thought you was dead, brother." He said, "Yo, not this dude. This dude's a fighter, like, for real. Like, this is the dude that you want on your side." Shout out to Fortnite for having the Santos skin that I purchased. They on it right now. They got the Fennec Shan and everything. I got the Boba. I got everything. But I'm like, yo, this is it right here. And just when I don't think it could get any better, the mechanic shows up with Grogu and reunites Grogu with the Mandalorian, and he has that moment with his daddy. like this is where he's meant to be. I really wanted him to have the saber, but he said, "You got your little shiny little suit on, and that statue's coming out, and I'm gonna buy it." But this, they all there, but they're still under siege. And then you hear that boom, boom. And here comes Boba riding a Rancor. And the city is like, he's the baddest man on the planet at this moment right now, because the Rancor is the scariest thing going. It's like riding King Kong,
Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of King Kong, Godzilla tropes that were happening with Rancor.
It was good stuff, right? It was really good stuff that they leaned into, and he turned the tide. I thought the Rancor was going to be seriously injured, but he worked it out in that space. And you had a moment where you thought the Mandalorian was going to do what Boba did, but he couldn't. He couldn't do what Boba did. And he got taught a lesson. He got taught a lesson that you're not Boba, and you have time to learn this stuff. And it also took Grogu to help him, because Grogu was not going to let him die, that he just got there. And, like they said, the Force work in mysterious ways. But the team is safe, and we get to that final fight where you have Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. And we all know the first fight and what happened, and they have history. And Cad Bane gets the upper hand. And Cad Bane is telling Boba right before he kills him, takes his mask off. He tells him, "You always got to look out for number one. You're gone soft in your old age. You thought that, being nice was the way. No, you got to be a ruthless killer." And that's when the tide switched. That's when Boba got to his Sand people, moves, his tribe, the respect that he learned. You see the change from Boba. He said he wasn't that impetuous young man anymore. He was wiser. So the change from the old Boba to the new Boba. A kinder, gentler, not weaker, stronger because he has a team, he has a pack, and a fierce fighter because he actually learned how in close combat. Because once you're out of distance with those guns, what do you have when you're up close? And he showed him,
Mm-hmm.
and Cad Bane didn't have anything for that. And we know how it goes when y'all finish seeing the episode. But you got the chance to see Boba walking at the end through the city with respect, his helmet off, people running up giving him fruit, and we knew that he's going to grow and change. Not like how Jabba the Hutt ruled the city with fear and torture and espionage and lying and backstabbing. No. Also, Fennec Shand went out and did what she was supposed to do in a little stealth mode, how only she can.
Yeah,
Took
that was
out
quick and
everybody
simple.
that was corrupt. It was a wonderful Disney Plus series episode. Yeah, it was candy-coated rainbows and stuff like that. But at the same time, it answered every question. It addressed every issue, and it set all right in the Star Wars universe, at least for a Wednesday, until we can get to the third season of The Mandalorian. And, The Mandalorian flies out with Grogu in tow, and I thought he was going to pull out the lightsaber. I swear to God, I thought he was going to pull out the lightsaber. But he didn't. But it gives me hope for what they're going to do next, and I think that's the best thing. This series lived up to its expectations, even though I felt that the last 3 episodes devolved into a Mandalorian plus type of
Right.
series featuring Boba Fett. But I'm pretty sure that they will rectify that in The Mandalorian when they will give Boba Fett a couple of episodes in there too and spread the wealth. But overall, I'm completely pleased, especially with the Cad Bane stuff. They really leaned heavily into it. They gave us a final conclusion to a battle that we wanted answers to. They addressed past battles and current battles, and gave you a definitive conclusion. And the end credit scene, I can't stress it so much. Go and see it, because if you was heartbroken the episode before, there is absolute hope, because you know how this dude works, and he works great and fantastic and brings people to a place where they're greater than when they left this place. So I
Yeah,
cannot wait.
I definitely so I enjoyed the season finale. It wasn't great. I definitely felt like it checked a lot of boxes that it needed to, and ultimately we were definitely solidified in the Mandalorian 2.5 season instead of Book of Boba Fett
Yeah.
by the end of this. But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
For the duel with Cad Bane and Boba Fett, it was everything I was hoping that it would be. Do you think Cad Bane is actually dead? And the reason I ask this is because after they showed Cad Bane laying there dying dead and then Boba walking away, the camera went back to Cad Bane. There's a slight slow push, and then it went to another scene.
It's he's a character that's steeped in law and tradition, especially when it comes to the bounty hunters. So I don't think they would kill off a character without making it so dramatic. We thought they killed Darth Maul, and
Right.
lo and
Yeah, Maul
behold,
can come back. Almost anyone can come back.
yes. So he could have missed his heart, or Cad Bane's species could have multiple hearts. It's plenty of things that could happen in that whole situation. So we have absolutely no idea exactly what happened to Cad Bane, but we do know that there was a conclusion to the battle.
Right.
And if we do get a Cad Bane sequel later on, he will be way more deadlier and still a bounty hunter out there being ruthless as he's going to be.
Yeah, and I think my only other big takeaway from this season finale is that something happened with Grogu facing out the Rancor that took me back to the Mandalorian season 1 when Grogu first showed off his force healing ability.
Yes.
And this was about a month or weeks before we got the Rise of Skywalker. When if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker by this point, Disney Plus, I don't know what to tell you. But Rey can also force heal, and that was the
Yeah.
first time that we saw her do that after Grogu did. So I wonder, is the Mandalorian slash Grogu once again setting the audience up, introducing these things that casual goers might not be aware of when we get either something in the Mandalorian season 3 or Ahsoka's first season with Ezra. Ezra's force ability is able to talk and calm down any animal with the force.
Yeah.
So that
Probably
was
so.
yeah, that was definitely something that got me excited, plus looking forward to it. That we know things like Ezra and Thrawn are coming, that this Filoni slash Mando universe is starting to come together. And I'm just excited that we get to see all these different live action Star Wars characters on the screen in this type of media.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I was very enthusiastic when I saw Santo because I said, nah, this is the Wookiee that I actually like.
Yeah, I was worried for a second. I didn't want him to just go down like that.
Nah. He's when they jumped him, I was like, no, man, not like that. Not like that, man. He came in, he was dragging his foot, boy. Oh man, that was. I mean, it was a good wholesome episode. You know,
Yeah.
it didn't give you too much and it didn't give you too little. It gave you just the right amount. You know, you didn't know too much with what was going on with Grogu. What else did he learn from Luke? What's going on there? You don't know if he has the lightsaber. He could have the lightsaber. You know, you don't know a lot of things, you know, with that, because me personally, I think Grogu's a little thief. So I think he could snatch it up. I have no idea.
He is a rascally little fella.
Yeah. So, you know, he's been known to lie, cheat, and steal.
He's definitely, since he's forsaken the Jedi way, so who knows what he's going to do now.
Exactly. And he didn't do any dark side stuff.
Right.
You know, they made sure to stay away from that and show he was using the Force in a positive manner. So
yeah. But it has truly been a journey. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this Special Lord's Minute, breaking down every episode of Book of Boba Fett. After this, King and I will keep doing Lord's Minute, talking about the latest happenings in the community and gaming. As far as Star Wars stuff, check us back May 25th for Obi-Wan Kenobi, because we have a release date. So it's going to be late in May, so join us back for then. But as always, I'm Ty Swinson, here with Lord King, and this has been the Lord's Minute.